to all my fellow Kiowas, Native Indians, and non-Indian listeners out there. My name is Steve Geronimo Hopkins, and I want to welcome you to the Kiowa Truth Talker Show. This evening, I wanted to address a few questions from a Kiowa member today on Facebook. He asked, once you get what you are seeking, what you want to happen, what next? Another group will get together, get you out of office, and the new pages will pop up about how bad you are, and what will happen when everything goes your way. There is an election, and you don't get it. Is it recall time again? Just asking. I don't dislike anyone. Just read all this, and these questions are always on my mind. Okay, well, I answered part of that on Facebook, and I'm going to answer the rest of it here because it's just too long to put on Facebook, and this is easier. So there's one thing I want to make very clear, though. I am not seeking anything personally, and I have no use for any self-gain. I am concerned for all Kiowa people, no matter who you are or where you live, and I feel none should be excluded. I'm concerned for the future of the Kiowa Nation as a whole. What I'm seeking to accomplish is to remove the corruption out and away from the Kiowa Nation, starting with those recalled KBC members. It is well known why, and most people should be able to see that the Kiowa Nation is stagnated, sitting idle, doing absolutely nothing for the Kiowa people as a whole. Yet those recalled KBC members are still paying themselves, while we have elders and families with children who really need assistance and get nothing. They get absolutely nothing. You see people talking about checks and balances, and they don't understand what it takes to get those things. Excuse me. No Kiowa Constitution is going to give us those types of checks and balances. And we will never have those as long as we do not have any law to hold people accountable and responsible for their own actions. So it is clear that we need our own court of law. This requires a new infrastructure that allows us to hear our own case law and build our own legal system. That will cut the corruption out by enforcing honesty. Along with that, I want to make sure that no Kiowa is left out. I want equality for all Kiowa people. This will also remedy the present situation that we are struggling with on recalls, and will change the process of how those are handled, which will cut off any recalls that do not have the merit to take place. The Kiowa Constitution only needs minor amendments, and it doesn't require a complete revision or any change of its intent or purpose. A court of law will allow us to protect ourselves and the Constitution, along with all Kiowa resources and assets. I want there to be more transparency and equality, and to promote more involvement of the Kiowa people. I want to bring the Kiowa Nation up to speed with today's times, so that we as a nation can compete in today's world and survive by becoming self-sufficient, doing business in ways that Native Indians have never been able to do before. Well, they've always been able to do them. Nobody's just taken the initiative to do them. I do not want the Kiowa Nation to keep sitting around waiting for the federal government to tell us when and what we can do, when we are in fact a sovereign nation. We have the rights and the ability to eventually do on our own for our own. I want more business ventures that will employ the Kiowa people, and not only those jobs not allow those jobs to go to outsiders, non-Kiowas. This way, we can build and strengthen our own economy. I want to implement programs with Kiowa funds and matching grants that will allow us to create jobs for our elders, who still want to be a part of the workforce. Grants that will allow us to pay those elders to do what they enjoy most by giving them the earned means to do so, by creating teaching jobs for them to pass down the Kiowa language and culture. And those who can teach our children the Kiowa language and culture will be able to do this as we build our own educational system. One of the most important things out of all this that I want to accomplish is to make sure that our elders are better taken care of. And one of the best ways to do this is to grow the yearly Kiowa elder payment into a monthly payment, changing it into what it should have been a long time ago. Just like the Social Security program in the federal system, only our own. This is very possible and can be done easily when we start utilizing Kiowa monies in a more better and proper ways. Our elders have fought hard, for what they've handed down to us, and it's our responsibility to make sure they have us to depend on, and some sort of income to assist them with their living expenses as well as other needs they have. This is priority in all the actions I've mentioned and will mention in the future. People can laugh at and mock what I say, but the truth is, this can definitely be done. There is no doubt about that. The Kiowa Nation needs to start taking control of our own responsibilities and start becoming more self-sufficient and less dependent upon the federal government for funding. What little that isn't enough to properly support a nation. I want to really get those programs implemented that will assist all the Kiowa people in ways that are very possible to do, making the Kiowa people a better person in themselves, as those programs can teach those Kiowas who want to learn or maybe already have a good knowledge of their plans and who are more advanced than others. But the point being, programs that will not only teach them, but also assist them in creating and building their own businesses and becoming small business owners. All those things help the Kiowa people to better themselves in their abilities, furthering their educations, and advancing their positions in their place of employment. All good things for the Kiowa people, no matter where you live or who you are. I will also mention the blood quantum. The KIC needs to look at this like an inheritance and not a degree of blood or through the eyes of racism. Realize that only horses and dogs are looked at based on their pedigree. The Kiowa people are not animals. So with that said, with just under 13,000 Kiowa members, it is hard for a Kiowa to go and find another Kiowa to have relations with. It is taboo to the Kiowa people, the same as it is to most to have sexual relations with family members. And because we are so small of a people, over the years, we have had the need to go outside the Kiowa race to be able to enjoy life and have families. Let's face it, children are our future, and we need to respect that future for those that have already been brought into this world. So anyway, when we go outside our race, we then cut that blood quantum, therefore cutting some Kiowa people out from being able to claim their own Kiowa blood. We do not condone racism in today's world. That is pure racism, because an offspring from a Kiowa is a Kiowa, and that is a fact. They should be able to claim their Kiowa blood. Honestly, I feel it is only fair that if we are going to be racist like that, then we should look at all Kiowas and see who has real Kiowa blood and not captive blood. Because if a person who is an offspring from a real Kiowa blood person then they should definitely be able to claim that Kiowa blood before a person who actually has no Kiowa blood at all should be able to allow to claim to be a Kiowa. That's only fair, and that's called equality. One of the most important issues when it comes to the blood quantum is the fact that I mentioned in the beginning when I said this needs to be looked at as an inheritance issue and not a racial issue. It takes Kiowa people to inherit what rightfully belongs to the Kiowa Nation as a whole. Eventually, as we keep following the direction of this blood quantum as we are today, there will be no more Kiowas because no one could meet the blood quantum. Some of those who oppose me do not care about the future of the Kiowa Nation as a whole. They lack the compassion that covers everyone and does not exclude anyone. You know, when the Kiowa people have no one left to inherit what rightfully belongs to us, then the federal government gets it. My intent here is to make happen what I was showing needs to happen by using my knowledge of how to take the right path to get there. That has real reason and purpose when considering the Kiowa people as a whole. This is to make sure that the Kiowa Nation has a safe, secure, stable future, and knowing that the Kiowa Nation has the ability to do those things when we utilize our resources and assets properly and make sure there is no corruption so all Kiowa monies can be utilized properly and honestly distributed. I know based on all the information I have and have shared the documents on Facebook showing the monies where they are and where they went and explain in great detail. It's all still there on Facebook, even doing the math for everyone to see it more clearly. We will be able to allow the Kiowa people to have a per capita payment, and it can be set up where over time, just like the elder payment will be, and made a monthly payment as we work to secure those funds for future distribution dates. But don't expect a per capita payment to come as fast as the elder payment will, though, because the priority is not the same. A per capita payment has to be earned also, and you know, can only come when the KIC gets involved and does their part in making those things I mentioned happen. How do they do that? Well, there's a petition going around on Facebook that the Kiowa KIC members can sign, you know, if they are really interested in doing what is in the best interest of the Kiowa Nation as a whole. In my mind, I want Kiowas to be around for as long as humans can survive Earth. In order to protect and preserve that, this action I am promoting needs to happen. It's our time to change now because we are so far behind the times. If we don't make a big positive step forward, then the Kiowa people will have been left so far behind, we will become more lost than we already are today. So when I talk about giving the Kiowa people a per capita payment, doing your part is working for it. And a per capita payment is looked at as a reward because you will have done your part and assisted the Kiowa Nation to become more prosperous. And that is what gives us, as a united people and a nation as a whole, and the Kiowa, you know, the ability to do that. And the Kiowa people need to share in that. And have the opportunities to live in prosperity as we build the Kiowa Nation into what our elders fought and died for and what they expected us to do. Again, that respect needs to be shown, and we need to make sure our elders are taken care of. With all that said, this action of removing those recalled KBC members opens the door to make this happen. That is basically the vision I have and the direction I know needs to be taken. That means, you know, it's my opinion. As for one of the first actions that will be worked on is holding an honest and proper election. And we will do things that make it easier for those from afar to be involved, and we will make sure all known Kiowas are included equally, full equality. The recall KBC members need to be removed. Then we need to hold an election, and those recall KBC members will be banned from ever being involved in any Kiowa business of any kind. That is because of their actions. It is in the petition. You all should read the petition. But those interested in running, excuse me, in an election that is held properly, honestly, and with access to everything needed to verify members and whatnot, having proper access, then they will need to run for office just like in any election, only it will be the honest, proper way to do things, unlike the latest attempt of an election with no access to the proper tools to hold an election, a waste of someone's time and money. When a proper election is held, then those elected will move us forward. Only the KIC will retain the ultimate power. My vision is just that. I have no reason to argue a proper election. If I decide to run in it, then I will do my best to win. If I lose, then I lose. I am no sore loser, and I have no reason to think that losing an election will hinder me from working with anyone I can to help them accomplish what the KIC wants. So right now, this is about taking an action as united as we can get, a KIC emergency action, and correcting things by removing the problem so this can be made happen. I hope that answers some for you. I appreciate your questions and interest. That's about all I have for this episode. Please share this with your friends and family, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Kiowa Truth Talker Show. I hope.